You waste hours drying dishes on a cluttered counter. Wash your clothes in lukewarm water that leaves them dingy, and blast your air conditioner just to fight off trapped sun heat. In Italy, these daily headaches were solved decades ago with quiet, built-in engineering that makes everyday life effortlessly better. Today, we're counting down 12 Italian home ideas that you could use to make life better. Watch until the end, because number 12 is a fixture so fundamentally life-changing that the Italian government made it illegal to build a home without one. Number 1. Lo Scolapiatti. The rest of the world accepts the countertop dish drying rack as a necessary evil. You finish washing a plate, load it onto a plastic or wire rack sitting right next to your sink, and watch your valuable counter space vanish. Over time, that plastic tray underneath collects stagnant water, develops a slimy film, and creates a perpetually messy visual focal point in the middle of your kitchen. If you try to hand dry everything with a towel instead, you spend double the time standing at the basin. Italian kitchen design eliminated this entire multi-step frustration with a brilliant architectural modification called Lo Scolapiatti, or the hidden cabinet dish drainer. The cabinet mounted directly above the sink is built with no solid wooden bottom. Inside, it features a stainless steel wire frame fitted with dedicated slots for plates, glasses, and utensils. When you finish rinsing a dish, you simply lift it straight up into the cabinet and close the door. Water drips harmlessly out of the open cabinet bottom directly into the sink basin below, or into a discreet, removable stainless steel catch tray sliding underneath the rack. Your dishes dry completely out of sight, your counter remains entirely clear for meal prep, and the vertical space above the sink that usually goes unused becomes the most functional square footage in the room. It has become such a fixture of Italian kitchen design that most homes built in the last several decades simply don't have a countertop dish rack at all. Number 2. Internal heater washing machines. In most Western households, doing a load of laundry feels simple enough, yet white clothes slowly turn an unsightlier shade of gray. Gym clothes retain a faint, lingering odor, and stubborn oil stains never quite wash out. The hidden culprit isn't your laundry detergent, but rather the way most homes deliver water to the appliance in the first place. Standard domestic washing machines rely entirely on the house's central hot water heater. By the time water travels through cold copper pipes to reach the laundry room, its temperature rarely exceeds 120 degrees Fahrenheit, or roughly 49 degrees Celsius. That lukewarm bath can't break down tough organic fats, body oils, or deep-seated bacteria, forcing people to rely on harsh chemical bleaches that destroy fabric fibers over time. Italian and European engineering approaches laundry from an entirely different mechanical perspective. Italian front-loading washing machines pull in purely cold water and heat it internally using a high-powered heating element built directly beneath the drum. That gives the machine precise control to elevate water temperature up to a near-boiling 90 degrees Celsius, or 194 degrees Fahrenheit. At that temperature, the water itself becomes a natural sanitizing agent. Organic oils melt instantly, lingering bacteria are eliminated, and whites hold their original brightness without a drop of chlorine bleach. By taking total control of water temperature inside the machine itself, the wash cycle reaches a level of hygienic cleanliness that a standard home water heater simply can't provide. Number 3. The Bialetti Moka Express. Millions of people begin their morning battling bulky espresso machines that take up half the kitchen counter, cost hundreds or thousands of dollars, and demand endless desk scaling and digital maintenance. Others settle for watery drip coffee or wasteful plastic pods bound for the landfill. In 1933, Italian engineer Alfonso Bialetti looked at the complex industrial espresso machines used in public cafes and realized he could recreate that same high-pressure extraction using basic thermodynamics and a simple 3-chambered piece of cast aluminum. The result was the Bialetti Moka Express, a stovetop coffee maker that would eventually reach roughly 90% of Italian kitchens. The mechanics are elegantly simple. You fill the bottom chamber with cold water and place ground coffee into a funnel-shaped metal filter resting inside. As the pot sits on your stove burner, the air and water sealed in the bottom chamber heat up, building internal steam pressure. That pressure forces the boiling water down, then up through the funnel pipe, through the compacted coffee grounds, and into the top collection chamber. Without a single electrical cord, circuit board, or moving mechanical part, the Moka pot uses basic thermal physics to produce a rich, concentrated coffee under roughly 1 to 2 bars of pressure. It takes up no counter space, cleans in seconds under warm water, and lasts for decades, proof that good engineering easily outlasts complicated appliances. Number 4. Le Persiane. During peak summer months, most homeowners try to block the blinding sun by pulling interior curtains, lowering fabric shades, or closing plastic blinds inside the room. But from a physics standpoint, the heat battle is already lost the moment sunlight strikes the exterior window pane. Glass acts like a magnifying lens, absorbing radiant solar energy and transferring that heat straight into the room. Once heat passes through the glass, interior curtains only trap it inside, turning a living area into a greenhouse and forcing the air conditioning to run at maximum power around the clock. Italian building design handles solar heat gain before it ever touches the glass using Le Persiane, exterior adjustable louvered shutters. Mounted directly to the outer facade of the home, these heavy wooden, aluminum, or composite shutters feature angled horizontal slats you can adjust from inside. By stopping sunlight on the outside of the window, Persiane reflect thermal radiation away from the structure entirely. The real genius is in the angle of the louvers, which block direct sun while still letting natural breezes pass through the open windows behind them. This passive cooling system drops interior temperatures dramatically without using a single watt of electricity, protecting interiors from UV damage and cutting summertime cooling costs through pure structural intelligence. Number 5. Tilt and turn windows. Standard windows in many countries open one of two clumsy ways: sliding vertically up a track where they collect dirt, or pushing outward on a top hinge that lets rain streak down the inside glass. Leaving a standard ground floor window open for fresh air while you sleep or run errands also poses a real security risk and leaves your home exposed to sudden downpours. Italian homes solve this dual problem with La Finestra Oscillobattente, the tilt and turn window. Driven by a central perimeter locking mechanism controlled by a single handle, these heavily insulated windows offer two distinct modes. Turn the handle 90 degrees, and the window swings inward like a door, giving you full access to clean both sides of the exterior glass from inside the room without ever touching a ladder. Turn the handle further, straight up, and the top of the window tilts gently inward while the bottom stays locked in the frame. That tilted position creates a natural convection current that draws fresh air in through the sides and pushes warm air out through the top, all while keeping rain out and intruders locked out. It's a small piece of mechanical hardware doing the work of 3 separate fixtures. Number 6. Wall-mounted retractable clothes racks. For households that prefer line-drying clothes to preserve fabric and cut electricity bills, the traditional folding clothes horse is a constant spatial headache. It wobbles on flimsy legs, tips over easily in hallways, and eats up floor space when open, only to become an awkward metal object to store when closed. In Italian homes, where space efficiency matters, laundry drying is handled instead by stendibiancheria da parete, wall-mounted accordion drying racks, permanently installed on balcony walls or inside laundry rooms and bathrooms. These aluminum frames sit nearly flat against the wall when not in use. On laundry day, a gentle pull extends the scissor-action frame outward, revealing several sturdy steel bars capable of holding heavy wet jeans and towels. Because the rack is anchored into the wall itself, clothes dry higher off the floor, where warm air naturally rises and circulates faster while your floor space stays completely clear. Number 7. Modular flush wall outlets. In standard electrical installations around the world, wall sockets are fixed in place. Need a plug for a heavy appliance alongside a smaller device? You end up with bulky power strips and daisy-chained adapters sticking 3 inches off the baseboard, keeping furniture from sitting flush against the wall and creating a real fire hazard. Italian electrical design solved this decades ago with modular flush-mounted junction boxes, known as La Scatola 503, paired with La Presa Bipasso. Instead of hardwired single-purpose receptacles, Italian walls use rectangular recessed boxes set flush with the plaster, into which electricians clip interchangeable modules. You can mix dual-gauge Bipasso sockets, which accept both thin 10-amp pins and thick 16-amp plugs in the same receptacle, alongside USB ports, light switches, and Ethernet jacks in a single wall plate. Because the wiring sits entirely inside the wall cavity and the faceplates sit flat, furniture slides right up to the baseboard, giving every room a flexible electrical layout without a single loose cord. Number 8. Multi-point armored entrance doors. Most residential front doors rely on a simple deadbolt set into a soft wooden frame. One firm kick or a crowbar at the right leverage point can crack the jamb and breach the door. Homeowners are often left installing iron security gates or loud alarm systems just to feel safe. Italian residential architecture tackles home security at the structural level with Il Portoncino Blindato, the armored entrance door. Built around a core of double-walled steel and reinforced with anti-drill plates, these doors look like elegant hardwood on the outside and function like a vault on the inside. Turn the key in the cylinder lock, and the mechanism drives steel deadbolts outward in multiple directions at once. Solid steel rods extend into the side frame, up into the header, and down into the floor threshold, while anti-lever hardware locks the hinge side into a steel subframe anchored deep into the surrounding wall. The result is a seamless, heavily insulated door that makes forced entry extremely difficult, while adding whisper-quiet acoustic insulation as a side benefit. Number 9. The mechanical food mill. Modern cooks who want a smooth tomato sauce, creamy mashed potatoes, or a velvety soup usually reach for an electric food processor or blender. But high-speed motorized blades chop food at thousands of revolutions per minute, whipping air into the puree, oxidizing delicate ingredients, turning vibrant red tomato sauce an unappealing pale pink, and pulverizing bitter seeds and tough skins directly into the final dish. The Italian solution to sauce consistency is Il Passaverdura, the classic mechanical food mill. Built to handle Italy's intense tomato harvest, this unpowered stainless steel tool uses a hand-cranked angled blade resting over an interchangeable perforated disc. As you turn the handle, the blade presses cooked vegetables downward, forcing smooth pulp and juice through the tiny perforations while scraping skin, seeds, and fiber back into the hopper bowl. Because it works mechanically, without high-speed aeration, it preserves the natural color, texture, and flavor of a sauce, achieving a chef-quality result with zero electricity. Number 10. Anti-drip glass oil cruets. Drizzling extra virgin olive oil over meals is a daily habit in Italian kitchens, but pouring from a standard retail bottle or open ceramic pourer is a messy affair. Oil runs down the outer neck after every pour, leaving a greasy ring on the table, attracting dust and making the bottle slippery to hold. Light and oxygen exposure inside clear, wide-mouthed bottles also speeds up oxidation, spoiling the oil's flavor and destroying its antioxidants. Italian dining tables solve this with an anti-drip oil dispenser, often called an Oliera Salvaggoccia. Made with dark-tinted glass or a stainless steel lining to shield the liquid from UV light, the real engineering sits in the spout. The neck is fitted with a specialized pouring collar with a narrow capillary channel running alongside the main spout. When you tip the bottle upright after pouring, gravity pulls the last lingering droplet back down through that channel and into the reservoir, keeping it from ever reaching the outside wall of the bottle. Your table stays spotless, the bottle stays clean, and the oil stays fresh to the last drop. Number 11. On-demand tankless gas water heating. Large cylindrical water heater tanks are standard in basements around the world, burning gas or electricity around the clock to keep 50 gallons of standing water hot just in case someone wants a shower. That standby heating wastes enormous amounts of energy, and if two people shower back to back, the tank runs dry, leaving the third person stuck with cold water for an hour while it reheats. Italian utility engineering relies instead on Lo Scaldabagno Istantaneo, the on-demand gas water heater. Mounted on an exterior wall or inside a small utility closet, these compact units hold no standing water at all. When you open a hot tap anywhere in the house, an internal flow sensor triggers a gas burner heat exchanger instantly. Cold water passes through a copper coil directly over the burner, reaching your set temperature in seconds. Close the tap, and the flame extinguishes immediately. By heating water only when it's actively flowing, these systems eliminate standby energy loss entirely, cut heating bills, and deliver hot water that never runs out. Number 12. The Standalone ceramic bidet. In many parts of the world, personal bathroom hygiene relies almost entirely on dry toilet paper, an abrasive and ecologically wasteful method that consumes millions of trees a year and frequently clogs municipal plumbing through non-degradable wipes. Modern electric toilet attachments have tried to solve this, but they often need an outlet near the plumbing and feel like an awkward add-on. In Italy, personal cleanliness is treated as a basic standard of home engineering. The Italian bidet is a dedicated, low-slung ceramic fixture installed beside the toilet, plumbed independently with its own hot and cold mixing valve and a pivoting faucet. Rather than a dry paper sweep, you wash thoroughly with warm running water and mild soap, drying off with a towel reserved specifically for the task. The practice is so embedded in Italian domestic life that a national ministerial decree issued on July 5, 1975, made it a legal requirement for every new residential home in Italy to include at least one bidet, a standard still enforced today before a home can be certified fit for occupancy. It's a simple, effective standard that renders dry paper obsolete and turns daily personal care into an effortless routine. From the cabinet that hides the dishes to the fixture the law won't let a home go without, Italian domestic engineering treats daily comfort as a matter of design, not luxury, solving problems most of the world has just learned to live with.